got the talent, but there's more questions than answers, I think, definitely at the top level.
Because when you tell me he's never lost, that worries me.
And then Moses could dominate. He could is the word. He could do it.
Who does he have to box to tell you he's the real deal? Give us a name.
A legit top 10.
Give us a name.
I'm saying you can call people a future great by standing
No,
over there.
I'm disagreeing with the statement, which is you need to be at top 10.
No, but that means you need to come over here to disagree with the statement.
Let's get over here. No.
I think they're reading the question wrong, you know.
I do agree with that, actually. But what I'm saying is, I want to go even further that way because we need to beat someone better than that.
It's like if Daniel Dubois knocked out Usyk on Saturday, do we think he can be as big a star as AJ? No.
Moses Itauma is never going to be as popular as Anthony Joshua was.
On the 16th of August, rising star Moses Itauma faces veteran Dillian Whyte live on DAZN. And today we are breaking it down, but with a twist. Tony Bellew, Dave Allen, Sonny Kay, Ruth Raper and myself go back and forth. Each round of statements read out, and where we stand says it all. This is Split Decision.
No. I'm going to get some bad stick for this.
Heavyweight division is wide open. Moses can be champ within the year.
I'm between disagree and strongly disagree. Within the years, like pretty soon, he's not boxed anybody yet, really. He's not boxed anyone inside the top 50. Usyk's still around. You still got Dubois. Still got Fury. These are all going to be around for the next 12 months, so I can't see him being champion anytime soon.
Would he? Yes, I think he would go for the opportunity, but I don't know if the team would put him in there anyway. I think skill set, he's definitely got enough to be able to win a world title. But what's the rush? Once you get to that level, and if you win it, there's no going back. But yeah, I think he will be a world champion, but not right now.
I think the division isn't that strong when it comes to the amount of ability that he has. I don't think anyone else has that amount of actual ability. What he lacks in experience, he makes up for in clear ability.
Do you think Warren would put him in for a world title shot within a year?
Put him in with Dillian Whyte next. Tells you everything you need to know, because Dillian has beat the likes of Joseph Parker. Dillian has beaten almost all the top heavyweights. So to throw him in with Dillian Whyte, and we haven't seen, even though Dillian isn't at that same level when he beat Joseph Parker, no one's still done him. He's still virtually, I haven't seen him beat for quite a long time. So the matchmaking tells you all you need to know. When he's matched with Dillian Whyte next out, I think that tells you all you need to know, in my opinion. So I expect him to be from Dillian Whyte. Well, you've got to look at it. What's the next step after Dillian Whyte?
I think a few more like that.
Yeah, but who is there? So he goes Dillian Whyte, who does he go next? Joseph Parker. For me, the Dillian Whyte fight is a clever match to make. And if he comes through that with flying colours, I just think they let him off the leash. He's not ready, don't get me wrong, he's not ready for Alexander Usyk in any way, shape or form. A man who hasn't been past 6 or 7 rounds cannot be ready for Alexander Usyk.
I think a lot of it depends on if the belts get splintered and who some of the belts fall on. Because if those belts fall on the likes of, if Fury comes back, even someone like AJ, the top level guys, then no. Like Tony said, 6 rounds and then going in with those guys is just not realistic. But if the belts get splintered and end up for whatever reason, like some of these sanctioning bodies do, end up with some of the not so great heavyweights in the division, then yeah, why not?
I agree. I was just going to say, I think the key word is Frank Warren. Frank knows how to get people into world title contention, and I totally agree. He ain't beating Usyk, no way. But then belts will disperse, as Ruth says, and when that happens, Frank knows how to manoeuvre people in the right place.
Do you agree with me though? We believe that he will win a world title, just not now.
I think he could, but we haven't really seen him get hit back. He hasn't been hit back. He hasn't been pushed hard. He hasn't gone the rounds. He hasn't really boxed anyone above domestic level. So it's a guessing game. He's got the talent, but there's more questions than answers, I think, definitely at the top level.
I think what Sonny's just said there about Frank manoeuvring people into position, he's done it. He's got Del Boy as one of the mandatories. He's got Fabio Wardley as another mandatory. He's got his men positioned all over the thing. The biggest thing, I think, for Frank now is, does he want to pit them against each other? He's got champions, because you can't have that many fighters in and amongst the ranking and governing bodies without taking one of them belts. It's just, will he want to pit them against each other? I think he will, purely because he knows I come with the champion, I'm going to leave with the champion by pitting your own against each other. And I think that's a smart way to go about it.
Do you want to come on this line then?
No, I strongly agree he's going to be a champion.
Okay, right. I do as well, by the way. I believe he's going to be a champion, perhaps not in a year.
We put too much pressure on our upcoming stars.
Yeah, just naturally, everyone gets overhyped, everyone coming through. But, you got people like Eddie Earn, you got people like Frank Warren naturally overhyping them because they want them to sell. And they're hoping that they'll turn into the next AJ or the next, Mike Tyson and whatnot. So they all get overhyped too much. And it is a massive pressure on their shoulders. I think someone like Campbell Hatton felt it massively, even though I know he's Ricky's son, but still the pressure on him was immense. And that is a lot to deal with. But that's boxing, isn't it? We have to do that. Otherwise, people don't want to watch.
I don't think it would be so much of a problem if it wasn't for the fact that when these guys like the AJs, like the Amir Khans, do fall off that pedestal, we're vicious, especially the media. They jump on them, they're like vultures. If we were like, whatever, everyone loses, get back on the horse kind of thing, but we're not. We seem to jump on them and we're horrible. So for that reason is why I think we put too much pressure on them. This
country's always been the same. We build them up to knock them down. It's quite simple. The pressure is a privilege. You're being spoke about in great terms, you're being bulled up and bigged up. You obviously deserve it. So I couldn't disagree more with this statement that we build them up too much.
I see it as a numbers game, right? And I think purely for the sake of boxing, I want boxing to be like up there with football, one of the number one sports in the country. And you do that by building stars. And yes, some are going to foul. Some aren't going to be the big stars that we are hoping for. And promoters do have a job, but it's a numbers game. When you do get one of the big stars, like an AJ, albeit he won a gold medal in the Olympics, he got that big fanfare and he delivered. But look what it does for boxing. Look what it does for people coming into gyms. I like the fact that these fighters, albeit young and inexperienced, get celebrated.
Does anyone really care what does anyone, as a fighter, do we really care? I don't care. All I care about is do my peers respect me? Does the game respect me? Outside of it, it's like with footballers, they big them up and they say this and they say that. But all that really matters is what's in that dressing room with you. The 11 fellas you go onto a field with, that's all that really matters. Pressure is a privilege. I can't state it high enough.
I think as a current boxer, social media, like obviously Darren, you were a champion in the 90s before Instagram. So yeah, like social, I feel like when I've had a good performance, I know I can go back to the change rooms, get my phone out, and people are buzzing with me. So I'm over the moon. If I had a bad one, I think I want to go on my phone. I want to get slated left, right, and centre.
Does that bother you, Dave?
Oh, big time.
Really?
Yeah, you can't get.
It doesn't matter because their opinion is invalid.
The difference between before the Johnny Fish fight and after, I walk down the street now, people beat, yes, Dave, good lad, and then otherwise it's like, oh, people whispering and that. So it's like it's.
And I get that. But ultimately, does that make you sleep better? Does that pay your bills?
A little bit. I guess so, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I just don't.
It affects people differently, doesn't it? There's a lot of boxers out there who can't help but look at themselves.
Especially this younger generation now, the young boxers that I train with and stuff.
Agree with that, the younger generation. But these people, mate, these athletes, there's footballers who are going in dressing rooms at half time looking at phones to see if John from Wigan on Twitter has said I'm having a great game. Who cares, mate? It doesn't matter.
No disrespect for any Johns out there.
Does your teammate tell you you've had a good game? Does your coach think you fought well? Was your coach happy? Like, okay, what do you care more about? 20,000 fans on your social media or what Jamie says to you?
Both. I'm needy. I'm a little bit needy.
Jesus Christ, Dave. You're killing me, Dave. You're killing me, mate. It's irrelevant, guys. Honest to God. I mean, these are 90% of Twitter and social media is abuse. It's just the way it's people venting their frustrations at their lives that they haven't lived up to what you're doing or what they want to do, or I can't live out the dreams. That's what 90% of social media is. You'd also have to take into context, social media is everyone's highlight reel. It's not real life. Right? Like,
but isn't that why it's important who you've got around you as a fighter? Like,
exactly.
Exactly. Like your family
your team
pulling you down to the ground, your team pulling you down to the ground. And I think you can see it when you've got these young fighters in the spotlight. Some of them have got a solid team, some of them haven't. And it shows at a certain point.
And opinions are like arseholes. Come on.
Dillian Whyte is being underestimated by the public.
Dillian Whyte is being underestimated by the public. That's hard. No, I don't think he is.
Look, he can still whack. The last thing a fighter loses is their power. And we know how dangerous he is with his left hook. He hasn't looked great recently, and I don't know what his desire is with remaining in the sport. I'm not too sure. I'd like to think that he's earned a good fair few quid. But maybe he wants to shut this young fighter up, this fighter that's been touted for big things. I just think it's heavyweight boxing. He's got to dig.
I think Itauma wins, but everyone's saying to me Itauma winning 1 round, 2 rounds. Dillian Whyte's beat Parker and Rivas. He boxed the World Heavyweight Championship. He's boxed a 20-year-old kid that's never really boxed anybody. So it's not the fact that I think Whyte wins. People think it's a walkover. This is a completely different level of competition that Itauma's ever faced before.
If he does get rid of him in 4, though, what does that tell us? I think Dillian will go in there just to get past 6 rounds and then see what the kid's got in the second 6. But I think there's a big chance he gets rid of him in 4 rounds.
I think ultimately it depends on what Dillian we see. If this is the Dillian that was in against Tete, it will end within rounds, I think. If this is the Dillian that boxed Parker and AJ, it's going to be a long, hard night for Moses. But you have to go on what you've seen recently. And recently, Dillian has not been a shadow of the man he was before. Maybe that's because of ring rust. Maybe that's because he couldn't get out for the name. Who knows? And I kind of hope it is ring rust and couldn't get out for the name, because I would like to see somebody test Moses. That's what we all want to see, right?
I totally agree. I think, I personally think the Dillian Whyte that fought AJ and Parker is gone, long gone for me. And yeah, the Tete performance told me everything I needed to know. I can't see him coming in and producing anything like he used to be able to produce, because we'd have seen some of it in the Tete fight. Even if we go back further, we go to Franklin. He was not great in that. He won. Franklin's a decent fighter, don't get me wrong. But it's not enough. It's not enough when you're coming up against that speed of Itauma.
Yeah. You've shared a ring with Dillian. Yeah. What's his power like?
10 years ago this week, actually, I boxed him. Yeah, I boxed him Leeds Arena. I was a novice. I think it was my 19th ever fight, amateur and pro, and I was boxing Dillian Whyte at Leeds Arena. I was terrified, actually. Yeah, I talked myself into big trouble. I got through 10 rounds as a novice. I didn't think he could punch on the night. I didn't find him to be a puncher, but I went and sparred him a few years later, and he punched really hard. I think he was letting the shots go in sparring and stuff. I think he had a reputation to be immovable at the time, and I think he was cautious. But he can punch, and as a winner over Josie Parker with the World Heavyweight title, people saying he's a 1-round job for a 20-year-old kid is just, I think, is disrespectful. And I think he'll take it that way as well, and I think we'll see him in really good shape.